And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cool a trailer. Oh, do I have the air breaker? Yes, I do. Well, judging by the title, I guess you guys have stuck around and like to, want to know what my interpretation is. So, I'll give you a little bit of background. My mom was born in the late 50s. And that's pretty much who the topic of this video is. I talk a lot about, my grandfather, my brother, other family members, but, I rarely talk about my mom, I talk about her a little bit. But she has been such an impact on me. And one of the big things is feminism. So that's why I call this video My Life with a Feminist. Now, the thing about feminism is, it's not what a lot of people make it out to be. My mom was never a radical and hated men. God, how would I get here? I'm not adopted. So, basically, what? Ooh, that was good. What my mom taught me was that, if there's ever an injustice, such as people not treating you right because you're handicapped, which I am, that's pretty much what feminism has taught me to fight for, just equal rights in general. So, and my mom was one for the equal pay for equal work. Got it. I got it! Sorry guys, my mom was letting me know a program's on, but I want to finish out this haul real quick. So it was, equal pay for equal work. And my mom almost never got equal pay. She was working for a big Fortune 500 company called DuPont, which was based out of Delaware, which is or was a chemical company at the time. So, and there was a little bit of mistreatment. If you guys have seen the movie 9 to 5, it kind of was like that. And that actually was a big movie in my household. But one thing that it taught me was, again, if anybody's mistreating you because of something that really is something that you can't prevent, your race, gender, things like that. In my case, handicap. People have always, not always, but people mistreated me. And the one thing I learned that was really important, I feel was really important, was have a voice, speak up. So, I know you guys are all like, well, what about girlfriends and stuff? Well, that was kind of cool. My mom honestly still doesn't care as long as, I treat the girl right and the girl treats me right. That's all my mom really cares about. As a feminist, And I mean, she dated. So it's not how a lot of people try to portray it. I mean, I've heard recently, and because of the election and everything, it's gotten blown out of proportion. People are always, that people want you to have a point of view and want you to believe their point of view, which you guys know me, which I think you guys have gotten really accustomed to who I am, and now I'm going to tell you my opinion on things. You realize that I'm just here giving you my facts. I don't really care how you go about it, but I'll just tell you what I feel. And I think maybe, you listen to me, you might like what I have to say, you might like my opinion, you might start to form yours kind of like mine. But, one of the big things was that always transferred into music and kind of what my mom liked music-wise. My mom was in a couple of bands in the local Delaware area, so but one of the things was she was and is a huge fan of Chrissie Hynde, and that's why I have the Back on the Chain Gang intro for this video. We actually had gone and seen her at Chrissie Hynde and Steve Nicks at the concert that I went to in Philly a little while ago. Now the thing about that is, my mom had mentioned that, Chrissie Hynde always looked the same, never really changed. And in the rock industry, the music industry in general, if you're a woman, it's twice as hard because they don't care about your talent as much. They care more about your looks, which I find is kind of wrong. She was mentioning all these groups, male lead singers and lead guitarists, and then Hart, of course, art faded away for a little bit, but they're back. But it was just the one thing she was saying in reference to Chrissy Hine was that she never got the respect that she deserved. And I can understand that. So, but another thing is I've also taken a women's studies course. Well, two of them actually. Intro to Women's Studies and Monsters, Murders, Women. And those two courses really, I took them backwards. So I took Women in the Arts and Humanities, which is about monsters, murders, women, and how women have been portrayed in literature, which is great. But Intro to Women's Studies was the second class I had, and I had a lot of fun in that class just because I knew the professor. She knew me. I joked a lot in that class, but it was never anything hurtful. So I mean, it wasn't anything too terrible. It was pretty much how I am now. But the thing that I learned in that class was that, you know, as bad as I thought I was sometimes, I really wasn't that bad compared to, like, you know, a lot of stuff that went on, like in the springtime, which is when I had the women's studies course. You would go by the way that I had to get to one building to another. You'd have to walk by some outdoor restaurants, and these were restaurants frequented by, like, you know, middle management banks, because Delaware is nothing but banks, guys. Pretty sure you all know that Delaware is nothing but banks. So and these outdoor restaurants were like middle management people eating at these restaurants of the bank, and then you'd get occasionally a couple of random people, you know, regular Joes. And they would, I always heard stories about girls either getting like asked for numbers or whistled at and stuff. The only thing I noticed was when I was around, and also too, y'all hadn't seen me in a while. I'm about 6 foot, and at this time I was wearing my military issue field jacket. So it was like, you know, big 6'4" guy in the city wearing a camo jacket. Yeah, I doubt anybody's going to mess with you or anybody around you. So, and again, like I said, nobody messed with me, but I've heard stories. That's the thing that, you know, my mom said about like dress codes and stuff. She's like, so the school has a dress code, but yet, you know, it's heavily enforced. Why? You know, because one of the things at high school was like girls couldn't have shirts that showed shoulders. Say that 3 times fast. Shirts that showed shoulders. Shirts that sold shoulders. Yeah, I can't do it. But anyway, she's like, why? That just sounds kind of stupid. I'm like, because they feel us guys are going to get distracted by it. My mom just laughed. She's like, so why doesn't the school really protect instead of just enforcing? And that's another thing that I know a lot of people, you know, didn't have that point of view or that opinion, and that's one that my mom kind of instilled in me. So that's kind of my life with feminism. But main takeaway is that, you know, it was don't ever let anybody stop you from doing something you want to do. If you are physically capable, go ahead and do it. So, and of course I put that caveat of physically capable because, you know, there are some things that we are not physically capable. You know, say I wanted to run a 10K. I could. My body would just give out on me after that because of the high blood pressure and a couple of other things. But, you know, maybe with the right training I could do that. But I never really aspired to run a 10K anyway, so. What I did aspire to be, and we all know, and that's why I'm making these type videos, is a truck driver. But obviously I'm not physically capable yet. Maybe later down the road, something like that. That was the main thing, you know, if you want it, you're physically capable, do it, go ahead and do it, don't let anybody stop you. You know, if you're being mistreated, speak up, have a voice. And I thought that was always cool, and it's, when I was younger, I didn't really realize it as much. And now that I'm older and I kind of look at it in the rear view of my life, that kind of helped carry me through high school and, you know, even like elementary / middle school, which again went to Catholic elementary / middle school, and it was all the spoiled kids. You know, there was a lot of hypocrisy there, but hey, my mom wasn't shook by anything. Like, shoot, try having to go to church after you've been divorced, which is like a huge sin in the Catholic Church. My mom did it, you know, the best she could with a smile on her face. So she didn't let anybody tell her nope. She didn't let anybody really judge her, which I thought was awesome. How that's helped me now is today, I was coming home from school, got picked up by a bus driver, and he's like, "Hey, doc," and I'm like, "Not a doctor yet." And he's like, "Ah, but you're going for it, aren't you?" I'm like, "Well, first comes the bachelor's, then comes the master's, then comes the doctor." But the thing is, I also told him, you know, a lot of people never thought they'd, you know, a lot of people never thought I'd be here, thought they'd see me here, and a lot of people never, you know, never thought they'd see me here, and a lot of people thought they'd never see me here. Which, you know, again, same statement, just rephrased, but I do take pride in the fact that I am a college graduate, high school graduate, because a lot of people actually thought, due to how my skin is and how my sight is, that I'd just go on to be in the public school system in a handicapped classroom or, you know, a special ed classroom and wouldn't do anything with it, but I showed them. So, and that was, you know, how my mom's feminism kind of helped me. It showed me that you don't quit just because somebody wants you to quit. You defy expectations. Valentine's Day, you know, that had just passed the week of filming this. It'll probably be 2 weeks from when this gets shipped out, when this gets posted up. You know, I've been alone for all my Valentine's days. High school, my mom let me skip Valentine's Day from like freshman to senior year, so all 4 years. Because again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm never really anybody's teenage dream. You know, something about this face just is not. This is not a face you want to wake up next to, apparently. I mean, I just find it ridiculous because people put too much value on beauty and, you know, all these other materialistic things. But to each their own, I guess. I mean, I'm just searching for a heart of gold. I don't really care about looks too much. I mean, we know the type of girl I like. I've made a video about that. But, you know, this Valentine's Day, I actually felt a little bit different. I was like, you know what? My mom's been single for every Valentine's Day since 1999. And, you know, only by her choice. I mean, the running joke is that if my mom ever brought home another guy, I'd probably stab the crap out of him. But, you know, I'd probably, you know, be very violent towards him. But that's just a joke. I mean, I was a little overprotective when I was younger, but situations were different. I've kind of gotten older, matured a little bit. Not as mean as I used to be. I mean, I still am to a bit. I'm still judging people, but once you've been hurt, it's kind of hard to lose that judgmental feeling. I mean, just from a psychology standpoint, which I know some of you guys are like, oh, psychology, blah, 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 this, that. What do the pictures look like? But the funny thing is, that's what Hollywood wants you to think of psychology. You know, that's what the TV shows and the movies want you to think of psychology. It's actually a very in-depth field, and what I'm learning is there's a lot of science that goes into it. There's a lot of studying of the brain and the mind. And through my couple of years of being in a psychology class, I've actually learned a lot about this. A lot about how I am as a person, why I'm the way I am as a person. You know, why I form these arguments, why I like the certain things I like, why I talk about the certain things I talk. To me, it's really interesting, but I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So, I won't bore you with, like, axons and nerves and stuff. But I find it interesting. So, that's why a lot of these videos are kind of taken from a psychology point of view. But also, too, I did get a comment recently about, I like your videos because you're authentic and simplistic. Well, I think I said in the comments, simplicity is all I can be, and authenticity is just, that's who I am, really. You know, I can't really pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I mean, that's really that, guys. That's all I really had to talk about. I thought I'd have more, but, you know, and I know the title's kind of clickbaity, but if somebody will listen and actually give a choice. Now, the reason I'm making this video is, like I said before, I have seen a lot of things, you know, through the videos that I watch. I watch a lot of people with conflicting opinions, people who, you know, are on one side of, you know, I watch a lot of people who are on either side of the argument, and I try to, it's weird, I try to use YouTube as an escape, watch videos to calm down and stuff, but a lot of people I see keep making like political statements and stuff, and talk about this, that, and the other thing, and sometimes it's just hard to escape, you know? I like the content of these people's videos sometimes, but it's like, you know, you can't get away from it, kind of causing you to form your own opinion, but it is what it is, guys. I mean, I watch everything with a grain of salt now. I'm very analytical in my thinking when I watch something. I don't blindly follow, and I advise every one of you who's younger than me to actually do that. And I just went through a red light. Awesome. But no, you know, don't take everything for granted. Don't take what people are telling you. You know, don't confuse people's opinions with facts. Go out, do what you, go out, find the topic, find the facts. If you think something, you know, if you think somebody's not too correct on their facts, go out and research. Because a lot of people will try to persuade you into their opinion. I mean, I'm guilty of that to a T, to a point. But then again, also too, I try to be entertaining. I'm not doing this for, you know, people's. I mean, I do it for you guys, because I know you like these videos. But I thought it's also cool to go with me, take a ride with me, and I just really use this as a vehicle to talk to you guys about, Because I mean, I don't think you guys like seeing me sit in front of a computer all day and just sit and chat in front of a camera. Although, those are the videos that get me the largest audience. I don't know why. Go figure. But, and also too, it is springtime, guys, so more car customs are coming. You won't hear all these political opinions from me as much. I'll have other things instead of all this filler. There we go. I'm surprised it double clutched it. Now, another thing, going back to feminism real quick. The reason I'm driving this truck, this is Golden Hawk. There is a woman that I've hired who drives this truck. Her name is Kate W. I let her drive this truck all the time. She brings in a good wage for this truck. Brings me in a good amount of money. Hasn't really crashed it, so. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Third low. Okay, awesome. Third high. Yeah, it was just feeling really sluggish in this truck, so. But yeah, so again, I have nothing against women, as we all know. I don't really feel that I need to say that. I'm pretty sure everybody knows it. Am I a feminist? Yes, I am. Because I do feel that women should have the same rights as men. You know, I feel everybody should pretty much have the same rights as everybody else. Because, I mean, it's like, okay, just because I can't drive doesn't mean I don't have an opinion on driving or people parking. You know, I am able to see a little bit, so I do know what people, you know, people can be not really the best drivers. People can not really be the best drivers. People can not really be the best parkers. But I mean, just because I can't doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to talk about it. So, I also really don't like the alienation of people too. I mean, I've been pushed. Oh, there's the lake. There's that body of water. But I've been excluded from a lot of things just because of who I am. And you know, it's
not a fun feeling. That's why I never really try to exclude anybody. However, though, there is a time and a place for self-protection, so I do try to keep my distance from some things. Other things, you know, it really comes up to a situational basis. So, and really that situation is anything dangerous that would pose a risk to my health or somebody else's health. But, you know, I've been with people who have been through a lot of stuff in their lives. And I've talked to people who have been through a lot of stuff in their lives. Now, honestly, I used to ask this question all the time. Why do people who barely know me instill a lot about their lives in me? It's like, I barely know you, you barely know me, but yet you'll tell me, you know, a lot of your life story. And my mom was saying, well, it's because of who you are. And I think part of that is how my mom raised me to be with their schools of thought, you know. She said I'm a very accepting person, which, you know, you guys can chime in the comments and say, well, yes, you are, or no, you really aren't. But, you know, it's weird. Like, it's happened to me quite a few times where it'll be like, I end up seeing somebody waiting for a bus, and we'll have like a 10-minute conversation, and they'll tell me everything that's going on in their lives. It's weird. It's a surreal feeling, guys. And I don't understand it because, you know, I'm not, you know, sometimes I don't think I'm as trustworthy as people try to make me out to be, but it kind of is true. I am fairly trustworthy. I mean, there's things that I've never told anyone that I've heard, so. But that's, you know, that's really that. Yeah, your customer wants it soon. Okay. And another thing, I mean, you know, being how my mom is, I think that's kind of what has made me think about how I am as a person, how people are looking at me as a person. And a lot of you guys may or may not know, I think I've said this previously, I'm pretty sure I am, that I was always worried about how people looked at me, how people judged me. And usually that goes away in your high school, teen years. Well, for me, it didn't really go away till about, I want to say now. I'm 22, getting ready to be 23 in March. So, I'm not too old, but I'm not too young. You know, it still comes and goes. I still have days like that where I worry about, oh, well, I look a certain way. Are these people going to judge me because I look a certain way? Are these people going to judge me because I dress a certain way? And I can honestly say, like, some days are better than others where I just really don't care. And then there's days where it's like, oh, man, if I could have gotten my hair cut, or if I could get some new clothes, find clothes that I want, stuff like that. But I guess everybody has that to an extent. I mean, this whole business, the thought of dressing to impress for an interview. I mean, if you're going to a law firm where, you know, you're pulling in $1 million clients, I don't think you're going to be going in like t-shirt and khakis, or you know, a pullover polo shirt. You're going to try to dress as nice as possible. Oh, that's low. That's high. Low. Fourth. Oh boy. No, I wanted fourth, not second. What the heck did I do? So, I mean, you know, that's the thing. Like, again, it all rolls back to how I was raised. I don't like how people always try to pull out the worst of a movement, you know, feminism. They try to make it sound worse than it really is. But I don't know. I mean, this is just my experience. I do understand that it may be narrow. And also, too, guys, I'm walking a very fine, thin line here with, you know, trying not to be as controversial, trying not to be controversial here, but just telling you how I feel. Now, I mean, I'm open to your opinion, as long as you don't say anything that would hurt somebody or, would really just be kind of defamation. Because let me tell you how I see it. People who use profanity in an argument, or talk about, oh well, this person's horrible because of this, and it's something that they can't really control. It doesn't really paint a great picture of you in my mind. Is how I see it. But again, that's just me. I'm not telling anybody how to live their lives. Because nobody, a bunch of people tried to tell me how to live my life. And the only person who really had a huge influence on my life and how I live it was my mom. So, and I'm pretty sure you guys enjoy who I am, like who I am, are glad that my mom kind of raised me to be how I am currently. So, I tell you the truth, I wouldn't change my life situation for anything in the world, guys. I've gotten to experience a lot. I've gotten to grow a lot. I got to go to college, which quite a few of my friends cannot say that they've gotten to go, and I'm almost graduating college. That's another scary thing. That's another video that I need to talk about. Because, I mean, one of the major things is what happens after college. You grow up, you settle down, you become a real man, you're a real person, a real grown-up actually. You settle down, you get a job. And I mean a grown-up job, not like, something that you did in high school. I mean, I didn't work in high school. I'm not working through college. College pretty much is my job. I'll run it like a job. I do a 5:30 a.m. to a 10:30 evening, so good couple of hours, but still, it's not as hard as a lot of people work. And at 10:30 is because my work kind of comes home with me. So, what'd I do? Not have it second gear? There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Turn signals didn't cancel out. I don't know what it is with this truck, guys. Shoot, Katie's probably a better driver than me. I ain't afraid to admit it. A lot of people are probably better drivers than me. Well, guys, I think I've skirted it. I've talked as positively as I can on a hot button issue that a lot of people are probably going to have a different opinion than me, and that's fine. Just don't go after people in the comments. That's the only thing I ask. But I have a feeling that you guys are smarter than that, and I don't need to put that little disclaimer. Since we are running late, I'm just going to do it for no points. Well, I leveled up to level 34 with 18 wheels of skill, and I'll show you what I get to do. Oh, I don't get a point? Well, that stinks. Alright guys, I'll see you later. See you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I'd love to see this channel get a little bit further, and, comment what your little, everybody's got their thing that they like to talk about, or the thing that they feel passionate about, that they get into heated conversations with. Comment what you do. Alright, later guys.